So everyone remembers that infamous moment in SEC history, right? Ole Miss head coach Tommy Tuberville on his radio show talking about the rumors that were going around with the Auburn job. And he specifically said, they'll have to carry me out of here in a pine box, only to take the job just a few short days later. Jim Schlossnagle didn't even wait days to take the next job opening at Texas because he's saying goodbye to College Station and hello to Austin as the Longhorns' next head coach as Texas joins the SEC. And if you are an A&M fan, you have every right to be pissed as all hell. What's going on, SEC Unfiltered? It's Cole Thompson here. Make sure that you like the video, hit subscribe, and hit the ring notification. That way you don't miss a single episode of SECU because we're talking college athletics every single day leading up to week 1 and well throughout the chaotic 2024 season. Download the podcast version of the show wherever you get your podcast listening systems. Leave a 1-star review if you hate this type of content, a 5-star review if you love this type of content. Make sure you follow us on all the social channels, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at SEC Unfiltered. If you want to follow me, it's at Mr. Cole Thompson, both on social media and YouTube. And to keep up with the #1 content surrounding everything going on in the #1 conference, make sure you visit SECUnfiltered.com. This episode is brought to you by RHOBACK. Use promo code SECU for 20% off joggers, polos, hoodies, shorts, much, much more. Promo code SECU for 20% off at RHOBACK.com. This is baffling. I mean, this has got to be the ultimate gut punch, the throw in the damn towel. You could not get lower than hell right now if you are a Texas A&M fan. You just watched your team go on an epic run throughout the NCAA tournament. And I mean epic. They didn't lose a game until the last straw. They beat up on everybody. They demanded excellence in the College Station Regional. They had every player living up to the hype. They battled through beaten bruises, and they showed the tenacity and grit, and they played through the pain to beat up on Oregon in the Supers to make it to Omaha. They went 3-0. They beat everybody, and they demanded respect from everybody in the process. They win game 1 against Tennessee. They feel like they're in command, and they get an exceptional performance from Chris Cortez on the mound, and they're in the driver's seat only to watch the rug get drug out from underneath them in game 2, and then to fall apart in game 3, but still show that same grit and resiliency. Keep in mind, Tennessee was up by 4+ runs, and yet A&M lost by 1. They fought. They came back. They showed everybody that, you know what? If we're going to go down, at least we're going down swinging. We are a program of grit and determination. And then people decide to go after a reporter for asking a question that need to be asked. Are you going to take the job? And there was reason to ask it. Many a reason. Let's start off with the fact that Jim Schlossnagle, who spent 3 years turning Texas A&M into one of the more prominent programs in the SEC, has a working relationship with Chris Del Conte from his time at TCU. Let's throw in the fact that Texas is one of the top 5 most historic baseball programs in all of college athletics, and they have the money and the resources to bring in whoever the hell they want. And also, let's throw into mind that this is Texas and Texas A&M. People may not want to feel like that this is a rivalry in football, but if you ever go to the Dish in Austin or you go to Bluebell Park in College Station, these two have enriched animosity for each other. They hate each other. Every time that these two go toe-to-toe, it is a war like the Hatfields and McCoys, ready for a standoff and a showdown that means no bounds. And you had to ask that question, because if it's Texas, and you're Texas A&M, and you're a program that has shown that you can hold your own in the conference where it just means more, and lo and behold, Texas is coming in to steal your thunder. And Jim Schlossnagle could have said no comment. He could have said, I don't want to leave this job. In terms of literally, I am stuck with this job. He could have said anything. But instead, he brings up integrity. You should be ashamed of asking that question. It feels ridiculous that you asked that question. Why? Because if you already knew the answer and you didn't want to break it right then and there, because you already knew what your plan was in motion and you didn't want to distract, which was already a major distraction for the day. You didn't want to take away from what your players did. I respect that. But at the same time, I can't believe you'd ask that question. You could have said nothing. But instead, you wait less than 24 hours, hightail it on out of College Station, return home, pack up, get ready to go to Austin. I understand it. I think many people understand when it comes to money and relationships that that's going to talk a lot of volume. And make no mistake, Texas A&M didn't lose out simply because Texas is just a better program. They lost out because of Chris Del Conte and Jim Schlossnagle are like this. It is a best friends forever pact. And sometimes relationships speak louder than any amount of money, sums, resources, construction projects, future goals. If you get to work with your best friend, at the end of the day, sometimes that's all it takes. But if you're an A&M fan, how do you not feel right now? How do you not want to just curl up and say, what happened? Because now all you're going to hear for the next months, weeks, years, especially if they continue to win like they just did in the Big 12, A&M's little brother. You left the Big 12 and left Texas to be able to create your own identity. In baseball, you've been to the College World Series multiple times since joining the SEC. 2022, 2020, 2017, 2024. You had a coach that you thought was going to be here for the long haul. You had a coach that last night said, I made sacrifices, left my family behind to come to Texas A&M. Offer him to spit it back in your face the second that he touches back down in College Station. How do you feel? It's a terrible moment. And it's terrible for Aggies everywhere, not just because of you thought that you finally had something to boast out your chest about, but now you don't know what direction your program goes in. You don't. Jimbo Fisher wasn't the right answer in college football, and you're paying him $70+ million to not coach on Saturdays. You're hopeful that Mike Elko can be the turnaround and the long-term answer for your defense, not just for your defense, but also for your offense philosophy. You're hopeful that Joni Taylor is going to take over for Gary Blair in the process. You're hopeful that you're going to see someone come in and pick up the pieces that Schlossnagle left behind. You're hopeful that Buzz Williams will be able to turn the corner and turn this project around. You're hopeful that there is a lot of potential in College Station moving forward with all the abundance of resources. And you're hopeful that you won't have to hear that Texas is back in every sport. But all it is hope. That's all it is. There's no proof in the pudding right now. And the gut punch of all is that the guy that got you and ending away from claiming your first national title in nearly a century is donning a new cape, and it is the colors of the enemy. I don't know how you feel. You know, A&M fans, a lot of people are going to say that this is just showing that they are an SEC material or that they are little brother. It's a lot more than that. It's a lot more than that. These are people that have put in the effort, the time, and the resilience to say, we are a program that does deserve respect. And this is a program, especially on the diamond, that has earned it. And they earned it because of the man that's now changing sides and going to Austin. You want to talk about the hottest ticket in town, it's not going to come to football this year. Yes, bringing back Texas and Texas A&M is a rivalry that knows no limits, and fans everywhere across the country should be elated that they get to fall back in love with one of the best moments in college sports. But the hot ticket this offseason and next season of all is going to be when Jim Schlossnagle plays against Texas A&M. I can promise you this. That game at Bluebell, there is going to be no seats left available. In fact, it will be the highest attending game, I think, in the history of the sport. And you will have A&M fans traveling to Austin just to make sure that the boos and the bellows echo through the dish for hours on end. This is a move that is not a gut punch. This is the biggest slap in the face that you could ever imagine. And for A&M fans, I don't know what direction you turn here, but you do deserve better than this. You absolutely deserve better than this. But let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of this move? Is this the ultimate trump card that shows that Texas A&M is little brother to Texas? Is this a move that will come back to bite Texas in the keister? Is this one that will eventually make A&M stronger or crumble under the pressure? Make sure that also you hit subscribe. That way you don't miss a single episode of SECU. Make sure that also you're following us on all the social channels, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at SEC Unfiltered and at Mr. Cole Thompson. Leave a 1-star review if you hate this type of content, or a 5-star review if you love this type of content on podcast forums. And to keep up with the #1 content surrounding your favorite conference, the conference where it just means more, make sure that you visit SECUnfiltered.com. I'm Cole Thompson. Until next time, folks, later.